On our system, you can find all the research tools you need all in one place. Right here in the center of the menu bar, just click on Quotes. For any symbol you'd like to look up, you can just put in the symbol you wish to see and click Go, and you can get a very detailed quote almost instantly. It'll have the last price here with a day's chart. You can also switch between a 5-day, 1 month, 3 month, and even a year. Also, you can have a very detailed quote information on this stock here. Below you can find some of the current market news specifically pertaining to this stock. You could also switch between the sector that this company is in and some of the topics that this company is often mentioned in. Next, you can get the order book with a 15-minute delay for what this stock has been doing throughout the day. If you're interested in options trading, this will even give you some information on the options. By default, it selects near the money with the closest option coming up for expiration. We can always switch between several different options and get more information about them. You can also get some of the most actives about it and even the Greeks for these options. The charting tools it has are much more detailed than the normal 1-day, 30-day, and 1-year chart that you can normally select. You can even get intraday, 5-day, 2-week, switch between lines and candles and area charts, and a lot more charting tools if that's the best way for you to research. The news is the same thing on the main quotes page, except it takes out the charts and just gives you more news. You can select exactly which date range to look between if you're trying to do in-depth market news to see what kind of news is affecting this stock in which way. You can even switch to its filings to see what kind of corporate filings it's made. The Company tab gives you some of the company main information. For example, if you don't know much about this symbol because it's not one you've seen before but you saw it recommended, you can get a very short description of what this business is, some of their contact information and website, how their market capacity sits with their CEO and their employees, and some of their sector information down here. You can also see information per share, for example, their earnings per shares and things like that, and some of the key ratios, for example, their price earnings ratios are all in this area. Here you can download their financial statements. You can get their balance sheets, income statements, or cash flow statements either for annual or quarterly. So any information you'd like to see about the company you can find here. This is a list of their SEC filings. So for example, their corporate actions would be logged in this section, and their statements of ownerships and things like that. These can be viewed in the browser, downloaded as a Microsoft Word file, or downloaded as a PDF. Next, we have analyst ratings. If you want to see what the analysts are saying about this stock, you can click here and get exactly what the analysts have been saying. So here I say, for example, for Sprint, I have 11 analysts saying hold it, 2 strong buy, 3 strong sell. And we even have a bunch of historical price information. You can select the exact date range you want to see, and it will give you all of the price information for this stock. If you're looking at general market information rather than historical data for one particular stock, this first tab here is Markets. On its first page, it'll show you some of the key indices information for today. For example, the S&P 500 and TSX Composition Index is here. The S&P 500 is end of day, as well as the NASDAQ, which is why it's more of a step chart. You get some of the more general market news, what's impacting the market as a whole, and a snapshot of some of the major indices. We even have a snapshot of some of the most popular currencies down here in the Forex. Here gives you more information about the indices themselves. This is a list of the biggest market movers and the biggest gainers and losers of the day. World gives you more information about indices around the world if you're interested in more international stocks. Futures gives you some quote information on the most popular futures traded in our system. Sectors gives you sector information. For example, if you want to see how telecommunications sector is doing, you would look in the sectors section rather than a particular stock. ETFs gives you again some of the biggest ETFs gainers and losers for the today, along with some other ETF information. IPOs tells us some of the companies that are first coming as their initial public offering coming up, so you can get excited and see if you want to start investing in those companies. Forex is currency exchange rates, so you can see a lot of information here on different currencies. Interest rates is things like the federal funds rate and the prime lending rates. Any interest rate information you want would be found under this tab. And calendars gives you a list of corporate actions, upcoming dividends and splits and that kind of thing. There's a whole wealth of research tools found in our quotes tool, so I suggest that you spend a lot of time going through and get as much information as possible.